All right, should be live. If you're watching the VOD, welcome. Glad to have you here. We've had a lot of new people come in the last couple of weeks. It's been really cool to see the number of people that have subbed to the YouTube and got like a ton on Discord. So welcome to all of you that are newer. If you found us via the MMORPG subreddit last week, then welcome to you guys as well. That's super cool. That turned out really well. That was cool. Beer Chug, hello. Sarinth, hello. Primus, what's going on? Hey, Flea, save quit. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get the. We're having one of those situations where it works on Ollie's machine, but it's not working on mine. And in that case, it's often some weird user error on my end. So we'll see. But if I can get the new fishing volumes working, because we just changed the way that they work, then I'll be setting up fishing volumes in a bunch of zones just to kind of knock that off the list. And then we may play test a little bit later. Malamber, hello. Darius, hello. What's up, Nomely fans? Love me some fishing MMOs. Would do that all the time in Final Fantasy XI and Lord of the Rings Online. Saren said, you know what? As much as people, I was thinking about this earlier because I saw some new comments on one of our YouTube videos because I try to stay on top of those. Seen a lot more references to Final Fantasy XI, especially as we get more EQOA folks interested. So I really want to go back and kind of dig into Final Fantasy XI a little bit. Excuse me. It's been a long time since I played any. All right. Let's see if it just works. It probably won't just work. Did I go pike fishing in Rügen for research? No. Where is that? Let me look it up. Fishing ground with the largest pikes in the world. Oh my gosh. Can you eat those? That's a lot of meat. Hey Justin Beer, what's going on, buddy? Shopping for Christmas already. That sounds exciting. You think you're gonna get a lamp that looks like a lantern, like an old dock lantern. That sounds pretty cool, man. Zuby said Black Desert had AFK fishing. You would see a ton of people just standing by bodies of water. It seemed like there's a lot of AFK stuff in general in that game. Interesting concepts, but all right, so this isn't working. Let me reload zone just in case, and then we're going to start to debug this. This reminds me, let me hit repeat on the playlist so that we don't have an incident like last stream where all of a sudden I'm randomly listening to some other shit that's not ours. The lantern is $12 on Amazon, so it's not too sketchy. Yeah. Lantern technology has come up in the years. Electric lantern's probably safe. It's interesting in redoing this side over here, like Simon redid this, and now I'm actually more drawn to want to swim over there. Maybe that's a bad thing. All right, cannot fish here. Let's see if we can fix my shit. All right, let's open the volume tool. Sungreet Strand, show, refresh. Says I'm in the EverQuest category. Oh man, let me fix that. That's because I was playing Project Quorum. Monsters and memories. There we go. Now I'm in the right spot. Thanks, Numbly fans. Primus said our soundtrack's coming along nicely. Some really good sounding fantasy tunes. Do you already have a link to the playlist, I take it? You don't need me to give you one? Alright, so let's modify this. Let's make it only 1 unit tall. See if that fixes things. Okay, yep, that's the playlist. Good deal. Save. Cool. Is Project Quorum True Box? I'm on another custom server, but saw 900 players online when scrolling past it. Hey, that's crazy. I thought it was True Box. Nick, you would know for sure. Can't box at all, even on another PC. Oh, wow. Okay. Secrets. Keeping it locked. Banjo Jones says population was close to 2K a couple nights ago. I could have sworn Secrets said that they hit like 2,000 or 2,200 CCU. Concurrent users. Nick just said Robert is working on the Sungreet Strand track. You know what? You know what I'm curious about? Let me try this. I'll pull this up above the water plane. I'll hit save. Let me reload zone. Have a limited IP per house. Guys could VPN around it, but could get banned. That'd be no fun, getting banned. Does the fishing volume designate you can fish there, or will any water source be fishable? So we were using volumes before, but the volumes were the base Unity volumes that you put into a scene. So you'd find them over here. Let's see if we can find it. And we're still using it for like swimming and stuff like that, right? So if we look at, I'm probably staring right at it, like ocean water volume and these other water volumes. So there's a lot of attributes on these. having to do with like swimming and no air and no fall and stuff like that. And then there's a fishing volume script that's attached to it. I think you can see it over there. Yeah. Nothing's covering it yet. So bottom right corner, you can kind of see we've got these scripts attached to this volume here. And it's just the usual kind of like Unity volume. The problem with that is if we want to modify these, then we've got to repush the scene. And so for some things that are relatively static, like swimming, you know, those aspects of water volumes, probably okay. But the question I had for Ali the other day is whether or not we could push it to data. Because we're doing so much with volumes. We've got mud action volumes that allow us to define interactions and stuff. We've got volumes where you can step into it and that's what triggers teleports or all sorts of shit, right? So we've got a volume system in data, which is really easy to use. And we can push that, you know, we can basically just push it in real time. And so figured if the fishing volumes were easier to mess with and easier for us to come in and go, you know what would be really cool? So say we have a river, the river already mapped out with a volume, right? So we've got a big volume covers a river. And that's your base fishing volume. If we have an easy data-driven solution like we do now, we could even come in here and go, this specific dock has the legendary fish, like Walter the bigmouth bass, and Walter lives under this dock according to legend. And so then we could easily just come in and put another small volume right around this dock in data, put Walter on there. When we put conditionals on the spawns as well, it could be legend has it. And I learned this from a bartender in the Blackfeather Bazaar. An old sojourner friend of hers knew the true story of Walter the bigmouth bass, and it is that he likes a specific type of bug and he only shows himself at midnight. And then we slam all that together. You get the knowledge, you got to find the bug, you got to come out here at midnight and go fishing for Walter and hope the RNG gods are favorable. So then we could do shit like that, right? Because it's a volume. And the second you give designers the ability to do a lot of stuff easily without having to get into scene files and bullshit like that and push scene, you know, like it winds up being one of those things where we do more with it over time. So King Ghastly, thank you for the follow. Hey Nicodemus, what's going on? What's up, Zukin? Does Eminem have a dynamic weather system yet? Love the random rain, snow, and EQ. Yeah, so we've already got that level covered. It rains in here at the moment. We'll get some more different weather effects and biome-specific weather effects and all that stuff soonish. You know, after probably in the new year. But if you're watching us, you'll see that it'll start raining and get like all foggy and shit. So Keeb said midnight on the third week of every other month. It's feasible. It's feasible that we could do something like that in data. Holiday Whoop Ass followed us 49 minutes ago. If you're still around, Holiday Whoop Ass, you sound very seasonal. Thank you for being here. New plan for December's test. Who's camping Walter with me? Oh, now I feel kind of obligated to put Walter in some way. Wonder what the market is for rare fish in M&M. Justin, I like the way you think, buddy. Einfader? Unless you're Scandinavian, then would that be like Einfarir? Either way, welcome. Adding Walter to the wiki now. He's the lore now. Gotta have him. Zukin, if you add him, that'd be cool. Inferish. Old Norse. I was wondering if you're a Scandi. Inferish. Thank you for the follow. And I will try to remember that's how you pronounce your name. Just remind me every time. Full moon should have better fishing. If there's a northern wind, fish should not even spawn in. You know what? You say those types of things in front of Ollie and you never know what's going to get coded. Like he whipped this up during the conversation. He got the system up and running. So now it's just on me. It works on his machine. I don't know. I mean, fishing should allow you to fish up treasure chests and lost artifacts. In theory, it could, Mortis. Cannot fish here. Still cannot fish here. Son of a gun. Fish up keys. Fish up all sorts of stuff. Fish up corpses. Fish up aggro mobs, yep. Suggestion, it should allow you to fish there. I think it should allow me to fish here as well. Gnomes fishing off of floating driftwood in the middle of the lake. Potentially, once we get rafts and stuff. Alright, so let me figure out why my shit doesn't work. So I thought maybe it was because the volume needed to be above the water plane. But that clearly wasn't it. So I'll save this where it was. You guys have got more suggestions? Quests for fishing poles? Seems legit. Craftable fishing poles seems legit. Having those various fishing poles actually factor into fishing. That'd be cool. Got the feeling that later on we'll be doing a full sort of revamp on the topic. Why aren't you working? Yeah. I'm sure it's not like this for anybody else, but for me, most of game development is just me trying to make things that should be working work. And it's typically not the thing's fault, it's my fault. Let's see. Nicodemus said, is there a list of mud commands for players to reference during the playtest, or will players just learn it through trial and error? No, there's a list. So we had a quick start document during Friends and Family. We were working on that. I've gone ahead and pulled what we had and put it on a web page that should eventually link from the accounts page, and it may link somewhere else in the site as well, like maybe the FAQ. Out of the box idea, animals that gather fish or other things for you. Birds, otters. Is that how a Beastmaster with fish keeps? You should be able to cast fireballs and fish with magic. I am sure Nick is writing that down right now. Did you see that he made it? You guys were talking about it in, like, it was either Zukin or Goblin, somebody's stream. You guys were joking about the idea of cooked meat when you like use a fireball or whatever on a jackal or a rat or whatever, that instead of getting raw meat, it would be cooked. And sure enough, added it into game through our conditional drop system, if I'm not mistaken, right there on stream. Mortis, it's already in. It's already in. If I was playing a caster, I could probably show you. If you use magic to fish the Night Harbor game and the game and fish, the wardens come over. Oak nut pine cone. That is an interesting idea. Misuse of magic. All of a sudden you're standing here, you're fireballing some fish, looking for Walter, and freaking Inquisitors show up behind you. Not a good day. So would beating an animal with a blunt weapon yield tenderized meat? I think it could. I don't know, because I don't know that we've got conditionals for skill use yet or anything like that. Okay, so let's get back on task. Let me see if Ollie's sending a message explaining why my shit isn't working. Okay. Sea of Thieves have this thing where if you kill a pig, for example, with an explosion, you do cook meat. Yep. See, we stole their idea without even knowing it. If you guys like Sea of Thieves, another game you should check out if you have not already is get onto Steam and look for Salt 2. Salt, as in you guys are familiar with Salt. You're on the internet. You're familiar with Salt. So Salt 2, and the developer of that game is one of our team members actually. John is on our team, does lots of good stuff for us. And I could have sworn somebody referred to Salt as Sea of Thieves for introverts. Is that message coming from the server, or is it something you can look at in a script in the Unity project? King Ghastly asked. This message here, you cannot fish here. That is coming from the server and whatever feedback Ollie's got like built into the client. I'm assuming there's some script that's taking it and sending it. On my end though, the stuff that I play with for this specifically, it would be here in the database. And so far we've looked and it seems like it should be working. Salt 2, yeah, Justin Beard. Excuse me. And Nicodemus said, John, you could say is the salt of ether. I see what you did there. Hey, I hope you're keeping up with your health, exercise, and good habits. You are your only hope at this point in your body. Well, in all fairness, I'm just the marketing department. And there's a whole team of 18 other people working on this game. So if I do keel over, you'll still be okay. That said, I am trying to keep up on my health, minus a few injuries. But we're working on those as well. We're all one dude, remember? Yeah, if you are out there, who was it that has made that comment a couple times? Was it? Nature Hacker, I think. Nature Hacker, if you're out there. The team is clearly more than one person. I saw a comment you had posted a while back about our efficiency being because of one guy or something. Nature Hacker is in the Quorum Guild. Next time you're in game, remind him. Alright, so you know what? I'm going to set up a completely different volume somewhere else and see if I can figure this out. So this volume's not working. Night Harbor volume's not working. Let's go somewhere else. I'm gonna go to Shaded Dunes. Zone Shaded Dunes. Thanks, Snick. The Snick. Hey Fielder, what's up? I love how depending on where I'm sitting in my chair, if I'm actually watching Streamlabs, the white balance completely changes. Let me know if the green screen starts poking through too much. I've got the lights turned down just a little bit. Ooh, in this dark zone, it's definitely kind of testing limits. All right, I'll turn the light up. I was just trying to keep it a little cozier here, but apparently my green screen does not give a shit about how cozy I am or want to be. Oh, it's actually having the opposite effect right there. What's going on, guys? WTF, green screen? What's up, Ollie? I was about to go to a completely new place and add a completely new volume and see if I have not the same problem. Swear to God, that's busier than it was. Confused the heck out of you. Why? Because I was running backwards? Oh, perfect timing where you said my name sounded like you were in our huddle. Oh. I'm lurking in your huddle. What the hell just happened? No, not your sneeze, Jasmine. I'm stuck, Ollie. Quicksand, oh no, I'm dying. Okay, I'm trying to think. There's a damn. There's some new areas over here that still need to get some love. Where the hell is that oasis? It's over here now. That's right. Things have changed. You've changed, Shaded Dunes. I barely recognize you anymore. Is Eminem going to have different planes of existence dedicated to deities like EQ used? We will have different planes of existence. We will have Fast gnome, this is a fast halfling. My friend. Alright. Let's do a water volume here. Sure. Why not? Or a fishing volume, sorry. You know what I mean. Probably. Maybe. Does this have... Is this volume set up? It probably is. It looks like it is. Do the dwarf chicks in M&M have beards? We will allow them to have beards if they would like, but it is not mandatory that they have a beard. Direct all chick beard questions to Zukin. Hey, Mealis. Okay. Good. Alright. Cool. I wanted to confirm that this still needs to get set up. But with that in mind, then there is no old volume to be in the way. Let's play around here. Will there facial hair growth for all characters? Will there be facial hair growth for all characters over time? How often are we visiting the barber? That is a level of simulation that we have not... Your facial hair will not grow over time, and you do not have to poo-poo or pee-pee. No number ones, number twos, and no facial hair growth. And when you play the game, you will also not have to get up to poo-poo or pee-pee. Or whatever Q terms you use. Volume tool. Let's switch this over to Shaded Dunes. I mean, you may have to do it every once in a while, but you don't have to get up. We do not require that you leave your computer if you've got to do your business. Butt scratch idle emotes. Eventually. I still think it would be cool if that was the type of idle emote that you had to earn through a quest. I still want to put the itchy butt quest in. And you gotta do a quest to get it. And then it would be cool if we have the ability to let you set which idle emote you wanted to use. So if you wanted to be a sophisticated ogre, that would be one thing. And then if you wanted to have an itchy butt, that would be a different thing. The in-quest reward, you got worms? Yep. You got worms, you. Hebrew Hammer said, I saw the heads on spikes and flags in Ashira Town. Such a cool touch. Remind me of the disembodied half dwarves in EQ back in the day. Yeah, we'll have more dismembered stuff as we go. We're just getting started. The heads on spikes were probably Ashira heads that you saw. The goblins did that. Mr. Riven said, really sorry if this has been asked before, but do you think preloading will be available in the next few days prior to the big day this weekend? I believe we're working diligently on that now. The goal is to always try to get it out there a little bit ahead of time so that you've got an opportunity to grab it and our whole CDN setup's not on fire. But I believe we're still working through some stuff on that front. That's a great question for Ali. Always tag him in Discord whenever you want to ask that question. He is the nicest guy in the world, so you can never ask too often. The patience of Job. Yeah, for the last stress test, I think we got it out like a week in advance, at least the first or the main build or whatever. But I think we're running a little tighter on this one. We'll see. What if you added the corpses of players ever caught cheating and banned to pikes outside cities with their name tag on it? You can inspect them and spit on them. We wouldn't do that because they won't have corpses. We're just going to put them in jail. Straight to jail. Mail list. Well, it sounds like you got some good stuff going on family-wise, but sorry that you're not able to make it. Let me see if someone's talking to me in Slack. Let me flag that as follow up later. What else is going on here? Sorry, checking to see if okay, I don't think I'm missing anything. What did I just miss? There's an OMG, and then I see something about a mom. What are we going on? What's the original message? Salacious said, do you think it would be possible to have multiple forest zones connected to each other so we get the feeling of vastness? I do think that's possible. We do want to establish feelings of vastness whenever possible, but not in the way that Mortis just said. The feeling of vastness is something I associate with your mom. It's only Tuesday, guys. Okay. What was I doing? Reading chat. That's what I was doing. All right, so we've now got a volume. Cool. Shaded dunes. This is the volume. All right. I didn't expect to get PvP'd in chat. Well then. Team Vosh, you just heard a mom joke. It wasn't me, I was reading chat, so you can't blame me. Infaris, are you there? Infaris? Am I saying it correctly? I'm going to practice a few times tonight so I can see if I can remember it. That said, if you don't respond, that means you're not there, at which point all bets are off. I'm not gonna remember your name if you're not here. Dome, dome, dome. The pressure. All right. Going once, going twice. Your name's going back to Einfuhrer. Sold. Oh wait, shit, I forget chat lag sometime. Would be fun to see forest zone lines on the vertical as well. If you somehow got to treetops, it's a different zone. That would be super fast. That is an interesting idea. We've talked about that for mountains. Salacious. We've discussed that for mountains. Oh wait, we actually did discuss that. First and I discussed that for forest. Oh yeah, because there'd be a thing up in the oh, yeah. We did discuss that at one point. Okay, so Shaded Dunes. Shaded Dunes. 43, 43. It's hooked up. Change this back to box because that experiment is over. I'd like to have a mountain so big and so tall that you can see it 5 zones away. Just like right now, if you're in Glass Flats and you're right angle, you can see Night Harbor all the way across Sungreet Strand and into Night Harbor. A mountain that is so tall you can see it forever away, and then it's like 3 zones tall, and have a point where you fall off and you fall, and then you hit the zone line, and then you go into the second one and you keep falling, and then you hit the zone line, and then you fall into the floor one, and then you keep falling, and then you hit the ground. And your corpse recovery is you gotta go all the way back down the damn mountain. Unless you're bound at the bottom of the mountain. And then you zone because you died. You're right. Oaknut, that'd be hilarious. You'd just be like, ah, shit. And it's not even the death that's bothering you. It's the fact that you... Imagine if this was back on 56K as well. That'd be like a 30-minute death. You'd fall, you hit the zone line, you go get a Coke, come back, fall some more, hit the zone line, go take a piss. You would die in-game and inside a little bit. Okay. I keep checking Slack as if there's going to be a magical answer for my problem. You might have enough time to ask for a call to hero. Oh, interesting. Let's see. We got that set up. This is saved. This is here. Shaded Dunes should... Alright. Fishing component here. Shaded Dunes definitely got fishing. What's up, Nintendo Fan UK? I'm unsure. I thought Ollie said something to that effect. Like it wouldn't be super hard for us. What's up, Dark Inside? Our server will be coming down in 60 seconds. Oh man, that's been happening a lot today. A lot of updates today. Let me see if I can fish before then. Yep, I can. Interesting! I'm glad I picked this one. I was looking for one just like this to prove my point. I cast my line. I wish I had a fishing pole in my hand. I caught a fish! I caught a raw bay crab. Oh, interesting. I have to point it to a different table. I actually made a freshwater crab. Just for freshwater places like this. And I even went in and found the recipe because you can actually take the crab and break it apart and chop it up and get its little crab legs and shit off of it. And so just to try to be thorough, I went in and duplicated all of the bay crab recipe and stuff and results and made freshwater version. Put that boy in a pot with some Old Bay. I'm telling you, Zoidberg. When I was in the army, I was stationed in DC, and for a little bit I worked at a secret government office, and so we would do 24-hour shifts. And when it became nighttime, like basically we'd block off the road and all that stuff, so no one could even come near the office. It was pretty cool. It sounds cooler than it actually was. I mean, we only just watched the news to see if the world was going to end, and then we would call people. And then we'd also get a lot of calls from generals looking for other drunk generals. So that was kind of that. But anyway, this story's point is I would occasionally have the desk sergeant be this one really cool, crazy guy. And every once in a while, he would bring in a box of steamed crabs just covered in Old Bay from down at the harbor. Is there a... Justin Beard's like, Robot, did you ever try Old Bay? Yeah, okay, yeah. Plus, one of my ex-wives reps Maryland. She's a 50-50 Maryland Virginia bird, and so naturally Old Bay was a thing. Minox said, are you able to talk about some interesting world design things you're able to do that wouldn't be doable in an open world approach? I mean, for the most part, the main thing that zone-based gives us that open world doesn't necessarily do as well is it gives us nice constraints, and it gives us a mental... It establishes this paradigm where you know when you hit a zone line that you're going into not just a new zone, but essentially you're entering a new play space. So if something's a little different, it's not a shocker, right? So if we're doing something environmental, if there's... I mean, this is an extreme example, but it's the first thing I could think of. Like if you go in and you go through that dog leg, right? Especially if there's a dog leg and it's not just a straight leg zone line. Like we've got zones right now where you can see all the way across, you know, like entire zones. But when you go through like that dog leg and it's kind of a ravine or whatever, and you go from something that's kind of a temperate environment, or even you could be in a desert environment, you go through the dog leg and then it hard transitions into a swamp and it's foggier and maybe the air is poison and the floor is lava or whatever, right? It's not... I think we accept it a little bit more, whereas you would have to use up a fair amount of space to make that transition in open world. Zone lines as, you know, I'm on base for monsters, and then allowing us to just not even bother with leashing and allow zones to be chaos at times. That's nice. Open world, you eventually probably will want a leash of some sort. I think maybe that's one of the bigger factors, is we can just not leash shit and see what happens. That was one of those things that I remember when going from EQ to seeing more leashing in games. It was like, oh wow, this is an interesting improvement, but really the chaos of trains is kind of fun. Yeah, I think it allows us to do some there are definitely going to be like some opportunities for a little bit of smoke and mirrors, but I think most of what we could do on that front, we could also pull off an open world just by designing it. Designing the geo and obstacles and stuff the right way. So it just gives us it gives us a certain amount of certainty though when it comes to our constraints. So at least that's the best answer I got for you. Oh wait, why am I trying to log in? I need to pull 14 things. Oof, when did that happen? Let me revert this and then let me pull all 14 of these things and see what are we getting. Zone lines also create social focal points, which is nice. Nerdy Squid said. Yeah, I mean, they're obvious, like, super clear bottlenecks, usually with some people congregating around them for safety. So, yep, makes sense. Mortis said, I don't like how when I'm pulling in Project Quorum, if some random newbie is fighting near the mobs I'm pulling, 20 mobs I'm pulling, just run a train on that one guy. I don't support leashing either, but aggro shouldn't be so fickle. Is that just a Project Quorum thing, or I feel like you're describing EQ? And it's very just dependent on who is where, when. Oh man, Zukin. I'm looking at the female dwarf beard option. She Now I can see why dwarves drink so much ale. sorry, lovers of the dwarven face fur. I prefer my dwarven women shaven. Corthin, the dwarf said, Robot caught the VOD of one of your streams last week. I heard you were in TDE on 7th. I was in Savage Arms back in the day. I remember Fires Within and Diligence being big along with you guys. Hey, Corthin. Corthin, your name sounds super familiar, though. Keeps, I forgot you were in Diligence. But I remember Savage Arms. You were Corthin back then, too? I swear to God, it's super familiar. We've had a couple other TDE people pop in here. Karados has been in here, and a couple other, I thought. Team Vosh said, and I am pronouncing it right? Team Vosh. I always get apprehensive. The out of context clips are going to be hell for you today. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. We have a continuity plan in place at the company for when I get blacklisted from the internet. Bash, as in like Ash. Sorry. I knew I was getting it wrong. Damn it. I can't remember if I've watched your VODs or if I watched you live, but either way, I don't remember you saying your name. You'll never forget. Womp womp womp. Corthin the dwarf. Corthin the dwarf. Do you remember our guild leader, Ranadin? For TDE? The dreaded... He was the game-wide best of the best Shadow Knight winner, believe it or not. Ranadin the Dread Lord, or whatever it wound up being. He was notorious on the server. He was a human SK. Ollie and I are logging into play soon. Ollie says he has a level 6 shaman. You're making an archer. I can make a tune. Though I really, man, I really was counting on. I can do it tomorrow before my appointment. I was like, I'm gonna. I'm gonna get this to work. So, Ollie, if you're out there, look, I just added this. It works. But I added it to a place where there was no existing water volume. If you're out there listening. Remember my original question? Was, would... He's AFK, son of a gun. Here I am talking to him. Alright. Well, just for the VOD. Corthin said, I did one of those best of the best for Paladin. Ended up being the second to the last left because I avoided combat and used LOH, DA, Tau, last everyone else. Maybe that's where I know your name from. I swear I know your name, dude. Vaguely remember Ranadin, mostly because it felt like running across a fabled name like Hercules. There he is. Yeah, dude, he was such a notorious character. I met him at the Seattle Fan Fair. Finally got to meet him in real life. The legendary dude that he is. And in game, he's this imposing, you know, just because of his notoriety, he's a human Shadow Knight with this crazy reputation. And we knew him. We also, it was funny because we'd always have to, like when you're in a big guild like that, you wind up knowing the GM pretty well and the guides and stuff like that. And we'd always have to get a guide or a GM to kick him because he usually drank while he was playing later at night, and he would fall asleep at the keyboard constantly. He'd be in the middle of pulling, like he'd be pulling all of Fungus Grove or something, like literally all of it, and then bringing it back, and we'd be like AEing it, and he would just not come back at some point, and we would find him just wedged in a corner, like running. And he would be passed out. He'd be asleep. So anyways, I met him at the fan fair, and his backstory was that he was a South Korean college student whose parents sent him to America because he was playing a ton of Lineage and was in like one of those PC bong, like internet cafe guilds, and they had little gangs and stuff. And I guess one of his friends got stabbed in a fight over Lineage, like a rival PC bong nerd fight. And so his parents sent him to the US to go to college. And rather than study, all he did was play EverQuest. He never went to class. And hey, I see Jack. And he just played the shit out of EQ. And he was very studious about it. Sounds like the plot to Prince of Bel-Air, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Yeah, kind of. It's like the South Korean Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Yeah. So anyway, then he had a lot of cash. Like he would buy video cards for our clerics, and sent my ex like a really cute like cat-shaped PC case at one point. And anyway, so I meet him at the fanfare in Seattle. I go up to the front of the hotel to meet him because he's like, I'm arriving soon. And he's this tiny Korean kid, young, like tiny Korean kid with glasses and a sweater vest and a bottle of Jack Daniels. And he came in, he was already swerving. He was already just kind of like wobbling in. And he was like, I know you like Jack Daniels. And boom. We proceeded to have a hell of a night. And he was the most dreaded person on our server. Such a rad guy. It sucks that it's kind of easy for me to lose contact with people like that over the years. Ranadin, if you're out there, buddy, I would absolutely be down to hang out again. Hey, Baloo. My buddy Baloo. Hey, Baloo. All right, so that worked there. I bet you I could just, I could probably just place a random, I bet I could place just a random volume somewhere and go fishing on it. Let's do it right here. Let's go sand fishing. Let's go sand fishing. We're going to turn this into a secret fishing hole. Sand fishing. Oh man, there's some shadow men over here. We could make a shadow fishing place. I just want to show you the shadow men because they're cool. Let me make sure my aggro's off. Okay. Little shadow fish swimming. Secret sand fishing hole. Get it on the wiki so it's real, Zukin. Love it. You guys are the best. You're freaking hilarious. Oh, this shadow man's got a robe on. Though it's a shadow, so you can't tell if it's a robe or if he's just rocking Jinkos. He's a shadow time traveler from the year 1990. The CGAC, you've never seen our shadows before? I was thinking the other night, I don't know why I was thinking about this, but I was thinking that I needed to check to see if they went away at night. Yeah, it's literally a shadow. We accidentally figured this out on stream. We were in the room with what's his face, Death Whisperer or whatever, the Shadow Knight guild leader. We were in there and screwing around in the scene view because when we were in the room, because of where the light was positioned, it was throwing my shadow up all like weird and sort of like big and cartoony. And so it was creating these crazy cartoon shadows in that room, and it was like, holy shit, wouldn't that be cool if that was the actual shadow, like if that was the NPC? And so we were looking, I was like, wouldn't that, yeah, that actually, all right. And so it was like, how are we going to do this? And then in the scene view, it just went in, like turned the asset off, like just toggled off the rendering of the character's prefab, and was like, oh shit. And so got all excited about it and thought it was going to be complicated to set up, and mentioned it, and Pattis was just like, we're like, oh, we got to make this character and it's going to be cool, and then we figure out how to do it with the shader or whatever. And then Pattis was like, no, you just go into prefab and you check the box. You can do it with any of them. We're like, mind blown everywhere. And then like that was basically within the course of one stream, we finished a whole new NPC type. Therion said, is there an Eminem wiki? I was thinking of making one. There was one. If you search Discord, there's been a wiki posted. I forgot exactly who did it. I feel bad now, but it's because it's been a little while since we talked about it. But there was a Eminem wiki up. See if it's still up. See if it needs hosting. Zilla said Shadowmen were added when Eminem took out Rubicite and put the quest armors in. That's funny. Should we do that? Should we pull these guys back out till later? No, there was a wiki after Keith's wiki. What was the question about? Can we have a Shadow Giant boss? Yeah, just because it's super cheap for us to make it. Brown Butcher says, does it just circle at high noon? Is it, yeah, just English. Does it just turn into a circle at high noon? Probably. I mean, it's literally just using the light. Anyways, back to making we're going to make a shadow fishing hole. Right here. You can see my shadow. All right, so let's do it. And if this works, then I want to try one more thing, which is maybe in the scene, deleting a volume or something. Not checking it back in, but deleting a volume and then see if that works. Are you going to get creatures like skeletons or quicksand monsters coming out of the ground? Maybe one day. We may, at some point, I was thinking about this relative to the dragon, like spawn in animations and spawn out animations. Spawn in animations for some things is cool. Having to do like spawn in animations for everything because you just don't want to use the pops into existence metaphor. A lot of extra work and polish for no reason. All right, so volume tool. Create new, right here. Awesome. Inspector. Oh, it's never right there. It's just right in front of my camera. I need to remember that for the future. Now the question is, I have heard our music so many times because it's almost always playing in the background, working and stuff like that, and I still love it. I don't get tired of it. It's like 7-year-old me watching the Muppet movie just over and over and over again. All right, so we've got volume 44. You guys are playtesting soundtrack longevity. Yes, pessimistic squid. So Zukin posted the link to the wiki. There's a big announcement here. It says, this wiki has been locked and will not be editable until the devs give the okay. This wiki is fan run, not maintained or endorsed by NWC. That's fair. Should probably talk to the team. Zukin, could you make sure we don't forget to discuss this? Because my feeling is it's probably okay. All right. Hey John, what's going on, buddy? All right, so 44 is in here now. Great. Yeah, looking good. Volume components. Just do it this way. 44, 44. Cool. All right. You're wearing almost the exact same shirt? Jasmine just got me this flannel a few weeks ago. All right, reload zone. You laugh, but it's actually really it wouldn't be hard for us to turn this into a legit shadow fishing hole. You would just need a shadow fishing pole. Oh my gosh. If you ever discover a shadow fishing pole in game, you know where to start looking. Dude, we've thought up so many new things so far in this stream already. I'm actually going to have to watch this stream just so I can remember all the shit that we made up, since it's not going to be on the wiki. Talking about you, Walter. No, you won't get a shadowfish. I didn't add those to the database yet. Cannot fish here. What? What? This is just getting weird. Oh, to answer your earlier question, Brown Butcher, did you see this guy standing still? Sun directly overhead. If it's at night, do shadow people still exist? That was a question that I had. Alright, so what is different here? Here. Save. Game. Reload zone. Name tags should turn off until you engage them. Oh, that would be so mean though. Try and give you a little bit of a fighting chance. And it works. Oh my god, what is going on here? Alright, so we're fishing in the sand now. At least that part is true. Miklos said, "Morning from Oz. G'day." A sea jack is also from Oz. Yeah, Zillith, I think with this being design data driven now, we will be able to do more of that kind of weird stuff in the future. No nameplates, so you target them with tab. Yeah, possibly. Like I said, I'm not 100% opposed to names not showing up or whatever, unless you've got like something else going on. Maybe you got a little detect magic going on that at least gives you a little bit of warning, or detect shadow. Detect evil. Okay, so this works. All right, so this works. The other one worked. Now let's go add, well, let's just move this one, the same volume, because it's really not going to be a sand fishing hole. I got your hopes up. Shadow people aren't evil, they just got kids to feed. We're not doing that. They're strange, thus they are evil. They seem weird, clearly evil. We're going old school. So we'll cover this area here. Even though this one's so irregular, but we can go to this rock. That'll be, remind me to go to the rock. Save. By the way, mooching should totally be in this game so you can catch big ocean fish. What is mooching? I thought mooching is just when you're like asking for something. Like my mom would always be like, "Stop mooching," when I was asking for something that I wasn't gonna get or whatever. Isn't that? Fishing net? Is that what it is? Jacob? It's fishing with a big old net? Yeah, I've got a little cheaty item going. I'm cheating. Let me reload the zone. Oh, you don't know if that's what mooching means? Oh, you're just guessing with me. Okay. We're guessing together. First of all, let me test to make sure I can't just fish from here. I cannot fish from here. You think you dated yourself with a real big fish reference? You're not, that's not that old, Justin. That's only like the 90s, right? Weren't they popular in like late 90s, early 2K? I can cast my line here. What in the world is going on? Dark Inside said, sorry, I was making dinner. It is shish kebabs and mashed potatoes and corn. I think you meant mash, but I like the idea of mashed potatoes better. It's just like, I saw like, in my mind, it was, it looked like the Persian army coming after the 300. It was just this mass of potatoes. And then you were like, you were the Spartans. And then you kick the first potato. You're like, this is Sparta. And you kick it right into your own mouth. Yep. Someone's been drinking Mio Mio. Man, this is looking real good right here. Little shadows, little shallow water action. This is a relaxing fishing spot, which unfortunately actually works. Miklos, the fishing minigame has not been designed yet. We've got this sort of simple temporary one in. I think Nick and I have been both kind of championing sort of Stardew Valley kind of mini game. Is all water going to be this wavy? No, this water should actually be. Well, I guess it's got a little waterfall coming in. What we've got to do is go up and set up each area specifically, I believe. I don't know if we can do it with the way it's set up in Shaded Dunes at the moment, because it's like the entire ocean and everything. But if we had it as separate little chunks, then we could go into the shader controls and change all of this. So if you go into, for example, if we were to zone deep dunes, then I caught a fish. Deep dunes. We can look at the water there and it's slightly different. Valcron74, while I'm zoning, can I ask, is that a real question? Or are you just kidding? Are you in here pulling my finger? Or is that a real question? Deep. Dunes. Shaders are compiling down the bottom right corner. You can't see it on your screen. Disco. I don't have a good enough memory to remember it word for word, but that just reminded me of the first line of Neuromancer. Oh shit, we do need to do Ultravision. What? I can't. Nick, is there a way to assign that to me? Do I need to go make a new character? The first line of Neuromancer is, the sky above the port was the color of television, tuned to a dead channel. Love William Gibson. Oh, that'd be cool. Or I'm right near the zone and in Deep Dunes. Like the hard zone. We could check it out. I'll even go full screen for that. Well, as full screen as this goes at the moment. Love William Gibson's books. Met him at a book signing in Austin, and it was one of those rare situations where I was kind of like, don't meet your heroes. Now, Bruce Sterling, on the other hand, was a superb person to meet. Just read one of his books not long ago, Burning Chrome. Excellent, excellent book, Old Man Lewis. He was just he was just really not into it. Like he wasn't into the book signing, and just like super cranky, kind of like didn't seem to want to be there, didn't seem to want to meet anybody during the like signing and stuff. It was just like, okay, well. So I guess his agent or somebody forced him to do it. It's kind of a bummer. Met a lot of other people that were really cool. Need a relog? Okay. I'm gonna log out and come back in. Oh, you added in DV. I was wondering what you meant by that. I was like, you could just cast it on me? Then I could cast it. But now I know what you mean, Nick. Let's check it out. Me. Me with Ultravision in here. Let's see what it looks like. CJX said. Now I'm like, make sure I have it. It would come after T, right? I can make another character really quick. It would be on top. Ah, okay. CJX said, most of my heroes tend to be not very big famous and more niche things, so must have been nice, and a bunch of them I've ended up being friends with. There we go. That worked. Holy shit, this is wild. Yeah, like I said to CJX, I've met some cool folks as well. What's up, EQA Nostalgia? Thank you for the follow and your cool videos. Wow, this is crazy with Ultravision. Feel like there should be synthwave playing in here. The music that we do have for in here is actually really, really pleasant. It's a hell of a lot easier to navigate in here with it. So anyway, I came in here just to show Goblin the water. And there's still a tiny bit of movement, but you can control there's tons of settings, like tons of settings. Oh, I can't wait for the first boat to be going through the deep. We'll have to make the river bigger. Yeah, so the music for here is, let me find it in here. Here. Can you hear it? It's a quieter track. Don't hear anything. You didn't hear me calling your name earlier either when I was trying to see if I was still pronouncing it right. Yep, this is the Deep Dunes. Rev Chumley was the name of the guy that made the wiki. Awesome. I knew it was going to be one of... There's like 3 names that were coming to mind. Alright, we gotta practice your name because it's tricky. Because it doesn't sound anything like it's spelled. Was it... Oh man. No, it wasn't. Shit. One more time. I lost it. I knew it before. The R's are S's. I knew it. I had it before and then you weren't around. I couldn't practice. Man, this zone's got a completely different feel when you've got Ultravision on. In far-ish. In. Alright, I'll drop the E. Far makes sense. In far. I can't do the R. Far. I can't do the Scandinavian R. Jasmine. The S? Or it's a ish? I think that's just the way Vikings used to spell it. This game is in development. We're not even saying like... I guess it's pre-alpha because it's in development, so it's before we are having an alpha. But we're just saying it's in development. There is a band called The Sword. I love The Sword. They're from Austin. Infarish. Infarish. Okay, let's actually go outside with this. Okay, so the game needs a few years then? Got it? It may. We're absolutely happy to take the few years. Have you tried to get Coke Carnage to check this out? He seems desperate for an EQ successor. Excuse me. Thorfinn, he has seen it, I believe, 3 times now. The first time, he thought it looked interesting and fun. The second time, he was unsure why we needed an indie EQ-like game. And then the third time I thought was right around the same time there. So I would say that let's just say twice. It's been 50-50, depending on when he saw it. So we'll let it cook a little bit longer. When he sees it for a 3rd or a 4th time, we'll see what his Oh, you know what? It's cool either way. He seems like a nice enough guy. We know a lot of people watch him, but I would, and don't take this the wrong way, anybody that's a fan or if you're actually him, I'd rather we just build a nice, awesome community and have all of you, if you like what you're playing, tell your friends and then they'll tell their friends. We're not looking to like impress one person and then hope all that person's followers jump on board. That's not really our thing. We're not like, I've worked at companies in recent years now that they're influencers and stuff, and it used to be that we used to jock like PC magazine editors. Like I got flown to San Francisco one night for the night. That was it. It was like me, Bill Trost, and somebody else. We got flown to San Francisco from San Diego to spend a night playing pool and drinking, and then going to karaoke with magazine editors like Andy McNamara from Game Informer and Rob Smith, I think, from PC Gamer and all those guys, right? And it was this thing where the whole way there, we've got our marketing and PR people around us. Okay, now remember to laugh at all the jokes. Remember, don't be too good at pool. Remember, we really need these guys to like us. And it was the lamest shit that I've ever done on that front. But it was free alcohol, and it was cool bullshitting with Trost later that night in the hotel. And there was this amazing tiny little woman that sang David Bowie at karaoke. She did like 3 David Bowie songs, and I'll never forget it because she sounded just like him. It was fucking amazing. So that part of the night was cool, but like having to spend an evening kissing the ass of people who clearly knew you were there to kiss their ass and are used to having their asses kissed was just gross. So on the flip side, these days we don't do that as much with companies, but now we just pay people that make content on the internet insane amounts of money to like us, pretend to like us. Here's 70 grand for an hour's work or whatever the hell it was. And so then they're like, hey guys, check out this cool thing I discovered. Not saying that Ko does that. I'm just saying that there are a lot of people out there that do. And then our thing is we're just going to make the game that we're proud of and we're excited to play. And then hopefully there's enough of you out there to make it a decent business for us. Let me turn this down a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I get super jazzed just by the team being excited about stuff. Oh shit, Nick sent me a tell and I've been ignoring it. Nick Archer looking for one more Wyrmsbane. Okay, let me do that. Thank you, Ollie. Let me... Did I ever see The Death of Stalin? There's a scene where his circle checks her nose to see if he laughed at their jokes. I don't know that I have seen it, or at least not in a... I don't remember seeing it. If you recommend it, I might have to check it out. Yeah, I mean, it's weird, right? Like, I need to log out and make a new character and log in and play with the guys, speaking of which. Ollie, did you see what was going on earlier? While I'm doing this, I'll just recap it really quick and then I'll go back to my previous rant and then I'll be done, I think. So I've been hit and miss on the volumes. I added a volume in Shaded Dunes to where there's a new water and there's no other like volume there. The Ashira Oasis outside of Telekir, and it worked perfect. Then I went and just randomly added a volume near a ledge in the sand. Worked. So I've got to look and kind of see with the other ones if I think there's some like weird maybe check collision thing or something. I wonder if the other volumes, like the Unity volumes, are somehow interfering with it. I don't know. Anyways, so that's where I'm at with it, but at least I know I can make one that works, so I'll keep screwing around with it in the morning. Yeah, I do like Steve Buscemi, Justin. So I'll check it out. Yeah, I'm not, like I said, it's not about like any individual person. Because we don't even know, like, the one time that Ko saw it and was positive about it or whatever. Cool. The other time he saw it, he might have just been like, you know, shit on his mind, looked and saw some weird images on the old website or whatever and wasn't into it. So it's nothing personal or whatever. But I guess the bigger point that I was trying to make is that really that's not, it's always appreciated when people, you know, any people like what we're doing. It's always appreciated. But, you know, our goal is just to keep making something that we're excited about. Okay, new character. I think the more interesting thing is how the idea, oh, there have been some updates here, so you guys check this out. So now you can see the dwarf. Nice dwarf. Art style feels like EQ had a baby with WoW. Well, that's kind of what the team looks like behind the scenes. EQ people and WoW people making babies. Occasional Vanguard sprinkled in there. A little bit of UO hopping in from the corner. Yeah, dwarf's looking, he's looking thick though. Like him. But now we can see all of them, so that's pretty cool. Nick, Ollie, do you recommend I make a dwarf for this one? Should be a dwarf, and we'll give him Ultravision even if he doesn't normally have it. We got the gnomes have been worked on. Got a couple gnome faces that have come in. Is this art just placeholder stuff? It's art that's in progress, Valkron. The capsules, yeah, the capsules were definitely placeholder. If you if you look above, that's what the game used to look like, right above you. The U shoes is little emotes. Yeah, Zillith, I was my main concern was just I didn't want people to get the wrong idea if I picked. Yeah, but you know what? People can get the wrong idea. That's what I'm here for, to give people the wrong idea. Alright, so I'm gonna just make this guy cleric as usual. Yushu says, hi, always such a good vibe in here. We try, man. We try. That gets back to what I was going to rant about. It's interesting to work at companies and talk to people at companies and see them essentially trying to buy authenticity. But then the cool thing is to develop like just kind of an authentic vibe. You just got to be yourself. But the scary thing is, if you be yourself, then people may look at that and go, dude, I really don't like you. All right, that's who you are, but fuck, not into it, right? But fortunately, we've pulled a team together that seems to like us. We seem to like us. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Now, if you like us as well, then that's a bonus on top. That's the frosting. I did see the new faces. I was just tabbing through them, Goblin. You guys You guys are a big old fat dollop of gravy on this biscuit of ours. I don't know why I'm taking some. Taking survivalist. I'm a survivor. Those are traits you see, Justin. Talking about you got bad eyesight. You saw those traits? Wild man. You'll get to see more of the traits and stuff, Maylist. He's standing inches from a 35-inch TV. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm laughing with you. You know I love you. You got a 35-inch TV. You just got a coffee maker. Justin, we're gonna have to talk about some priorities. Got that dope table and chairs though. I like that color. Oh shit. I've got night vision. I've got nods. Oh man. I should be playing the regular client and not in the editor. Ouch. Where are you guys? Yep, someone will work. Priority 2, air fryer. Air fryer, so I didn't know what to think. I got an air fryer a year and a half ago. We use it constantly. We used it so much that we don't feel guilty about the idea of potentially just getting a better air fryer. I like the air fryer more than toaster when it comes to toasting. We don't have a toaster. I don't do a lot of toast. Chicken thighs, Brussels sprouts. Yeah, it's a lot of different chicken. Looks like I've already been leveled. You guys are gonna die. You know I'm not ready yet, but that's okay. Trying to remember, is it scribe all? Thank you. Thank you, Nick. First I gotta be a GM, then there we go. Perfect. Waste mana, waste mana. Stun, shock. Oh shit, you know what? I need to play our cleric a lot more. I just realized, I'm like, our cleric's got some tricks that I'm actually not used to. Love the blue lighting in here. Blue sparkles remind you of eco crystal balls. So the lighting in here is going to be a bit off because I gave myself ultra vision. Usually it's pretty dark and you got to rely on the environmental lighting. I guess I could just be singing these over. Atonement. 12 to 15. Whereas I thought I had a higher level shock. Shit, I actually need to sit down and learn our cleric. Got placate. What about Gigavision? Don't give us any idea. Part blessing. Part blessing and target him than 40. Alright. Have you. I should probably. Need some clothes. What's some appropriate armor, Nick? And just give me the essentially the tier, and I'll run through the DB and look. No armor? Okay. I can do that.